How is it going, good people of YouTube? Welcome to another concept series episode. This concept series episode is Skinwalker Ranch as a survival horror game. The title of the game would be Skinwalker Shift. And Skinwalker Ranch is actually a area. Skinwalker Ranch is a real place, actually. And it's an area where a bunch of kind of eerie activity went on for a point in time. But the genre would be survival horror and psychological thriller. The platforms would be PC and console. The perspective would be first person, and the setting is Skinwalker Ranch in Utah, a remote, eerie location infamous for paranormal activity, UFO sightings, and cryptic creatures. That's Skinwalker Ranch is a real place in Utah. It's not like anything that's made up. So the game concept in Skinwalker Shift, you play as Riley Kane, a newly hired overnight security guard at Skinwalker Ranch, a sprawling, isolated property shrouded in mystery, hired by a shadowy research organization. Your job is simple: monitor the perimeter, check security cameras, and survive the night. But the ranch is alive with unnatural forces, skinwalkers, cryptic entities, and unexplained phenomenon that test your sanity and survival skills. The game blends horror, survival horror, stealth, and psychological tension with randomized events to ensure every night it feels unpredictable. Your choices ensure every night feels unpredictable. Your choices, resource management, and ability to stay calm under pressure determine whether you make it to sunrise. Core gameplay. Nightly objectives. So your nightly objectives: patrol the ranch using a flashlight, radio, and limited security tools like cameras, motion sensors. Investigate disturbances, strange noises, flickering lights, or livestock mutilations. Secure key locations like barns, research trailers, and ancient ruins against intrusions. Survive the night until 6 a.m. when the next shift arrives. So there's a shift that comes after you after 6 a.m. Okay, so some of the threats: skinwalkers, shape-shifting entities that mimic human voices, animals, or even your colleagues to lure you into traps. They stalk you in the dark, forcing you to distinguish real from fake. So there's paranormal events. So there's UFOs casting blinding lights, ghostly apparitions, or sudden electromagnetic interference that disables your tools. Another threat is environmental hazards, so collapsing structures, sudden fog, or mysterious patrols that disorient you. Mysterious portals, that disorient you. Random events. So random events ensure no two nights are the same. So something like a skinwalker mimicking your radio contact, or a cattle stampede triggered by an unseen force. The events are random. So there's a sanity system. Exposure to paranormal events erodes Riley's sanity, causing hallucinations, distorted vision, or false objectives. Manage sanity by finding safe rooms, using calming items like a personal music player, or completing tasks to regain focus. If sanity drops too low, Riley becomes vulnerable to manipulation by skinwalkers, potentially leading to a game over where you join them. Some of the resource management, so there's limited flashlight batteries, radio charges, and first aid kits. Force strategic decisions. Scavenge for supplies in abandoned shacks or research outposts, but searching risks encounters. Create makeshift defenses like salt circles or noise traps based on local folklore to repel entities temporarily. Stealth and survival. So avoid direct confrontation. Skinwalkers are nearly invincible. Hide in shadows. Crawl through tall grass, or barricade yourself in buildings. Environmental clues, so things like animal behavior and wind shifts allow you to detect approaching threats. Some entities can only be repelled by specific actions like reciting protective phrases or avoiding eye contact. So, like, you say a quote from the Bible and that repels the entity, or you don't look at the entity or touch it or anything like that. Just ignore it and pretend like it's not there. So the story and atmosphere premise. Riley is a down on their luck ex-cop, takes the job for quick cash, unaware of the ranch's dark history. As nights progress, you uncover logs from previous guards, cryptic research notes, and Native American artifacts hinting at a centuries-old curse tied to the land. The tone: tense, oppressive, and isolating. The ranch feels alive, with howling winds, distant animal screams, and flickering lights creating constant unease. Progression, so each night escalates the phenomenon, from subtle whispers to full-blown entity encounters. By night 5, you face a moral choice. Flee the ranch, confront the source of the curse, or sabotage the research organization's experiments. So some of the key features. So there's dynamic AI. Skinwalkers adapt to your behavior. If you rely on hiding, they'll start searching hiding spots. If you use the radio often, they'll mimic it to deceive you. Randomized events, so nightly phenomena like UFO sightings, cryptid attacks, or portal openings are randomized for replayability. So there's a lot of stuff that you have to worry about. And some of these like, I'm imagining just some of these things being like straight up like literal monsters, like a werewolf, or not a werewolf, but like a dogman, stuff like that. Some of the UFOs are like, you gotta hide, man. You can't be seen by these UFOs. Some of the portal openings, I think, to kind of add to like a portal opening, there could be something where like something comes through the portal and you can actually see it come through, or you just, like, the portal opens and then something, I don't know, maybe something new comes through. I don't know, maybe like a freaking straight up demon just comes through the portal, or like, I don't know, man. I mean, it's a cool, just spitballing ideas here. So some of the exploration, so unlock hidden areas, underground tunnels, and ritual sites. So those are some of the hidden areas that reveal lore but increase risk. There's multiple endings, so based on your choice, sanity, and discoveries, and endings range from escaping alive to becoming a skinwalker yourself. There would be immersive audio visuals. So there would be minimalist UI, realistic sound design like distant howls, static-filled radios, stuff like that. And a lo-fi aesthetic with stark lighting to amplify dread. Yeah, so you just, it's immersive and you feel like you are literally at the mercy of whatever is on this property. are the multiple things that are on this property. Um, some of the unique mechanics. So there's voice detection. Skinwalkers can hear you if you use voice chat or make noise in real life, which would be an optional. This would be an optional feature for immersive horror. So like the creatures can literally hear you from your mic, from your microphone itself. Some of the so there's folklore-based defense is another unique mechanic. Use Native American-inspired rituals like burning sage or drawing symbols to temporarily ward off entities, but these require rare ingredients. Some of the radio deception. So your radio contact, Dr. Hayes, may not always be who they seem. Decipher cryptic messages to determine if you are being guided or manipulated. So basically, not only that, but also recognize patterns too, like pattern recognition as the player. Maybe maybe when you get a radio, like a radio in, when Dr. Hayes radios you, maybe they don't sound like they did before. They might sound a bit different. They might just completely not even talk the same, because maybe the mimic hasn't the mimic isn't really like that good at mimicking just yet, and they're kind of learning. Yeah, just some ideas really. Art and sound. So art style. So low poly atmospheric visuals with a muted color palette. So they're dusty browns and eerie blues to evoke desolation. Entities are shadowy and indistinct to heighten fear. To heighten fear of the unknown. Sound design. So sparse, haunting soundtrack with ambient ranch sounds like coyotes, wind, or cracking wood. Skinwalker voices shift from familiar to distorted, creating paranoia. And here's a kind of an example of the gameplay loop. So this is just night one, or one of the nights basically. So an example of the gameplay loop. So 22 hours, 22. So like it's a 24-hour clock. So 22 hours. Start shift with the security. Start shift at the security trailer. Check cameras. Arm yourself with a flashlight and flare gun. 2330, motion sensors trigger near the barn. Investigate to find mutilated cattle and glowing footprints. 1 in the morning. So 1 a.m. Radio cuts out, replaced by a voice mimicking your colleague begging for help. Decide whether to follow it or stay put. 3 a.m. A skinwalker stalks you, mimicking your footsteps. Hide in a shack or use a salt circle to hold it off while your sanity wavers. 5 a.m. A UFO hovers overhead, disrupting electronics. Reach a safe room before your flashlight dies. And if your flashlight dies, you're basically dead because you can't see anything. 6 in the morning, survive to sunrise, log your report, and unlock new lore about the ranch's curse. Replayability and progression. So there's nightly challenges. Each night introduces new phenomena or tougher enemies. Unlockable lore, collect journal entries, audio logs, and artifacts to piece together the ranch's history. Difficulty modes. So there's difficulty from rookie, which would be forgiving your sanity and resource limits, to nightmare, which is permadeath and aggressive entities. New Game Plus, so carry over knowledge to unlock new dialogue options or rituals. And this is kind of an inspiration to several different things. So one of the inspirations is obviously Five Nights at Freddy's, with the tense, confined horror with monitoring mechanics. Another inspiration is Outlast, the helplessness and stealth-based survival. Another is Dead by Daylight, with asymmetrical horror, with adaptive AI. And then there's actual Skinwalker Ranch lore, which is real world paranormal accounts with authenticity. Yeah. Um, I don't know. I like this. I like this whole concept. I'm thinking about doing other concepts kind of like this. This isn't based off of any game. This isn't like a remaster or anything. This is just straight from the mind, you know. I mean, it's based off of Skinwalker Ranch, which is a real life location in Utah. Um, I don't know. I might do. I'm thinking about doing other stuff like this as well, you know. Doing things similar to this, you know. I mean, why not? Just stuff that isn't like based off of any other games that exist, just solely based off of real life events, you know, and it's a game based on it. Um, I'm thinking of, oh man, I don't know. I'm thinking of doing one about the Pine Barrens in New Jersey. And then there's a few other ones that I think I might want to do that would be really cool. But yeah, if you were going to make a game like this, what would you do? How would you do it? What would be your main formula? What would be your formula for this game? But yeah, that's everything. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment on what you would do if you were gonna make a game like this. But yeah, you folks have a good one. Peace.